There's a lot of initiatives going on in Europe at the moment about asylum. There's one called the Asylum Code, put forward by the Tyrolean governor Anton Mattel and the VP leader. It reflects this broader strategy in Austria to try to integrate asylum seekers into the local society and workforce using language. And Mattel emphasizes the importance of learning the language, engaging with local culture. Um, in the in the articles, he says that the reasons so that asylum seekers learn the language, engage with the culture, the values of the country, and take on community work. For asylum seekers, we must integrate them, he says, into the work process. We have a backlog in Austria dating back to 2015. The country is trying through various initiatives to bring companies and asylum seekers together. Matto cited reasons such as so that asylum seekers learn the language, engage with the culture, values of the country, take on community work. When asked whether a signature was sufficient, since the asylum code in Vorarlberg is based on voluntary efforts, Mantel responded, "It's the first step towards obligation. Asylum seekers should give something back to society from the benefits they receive. Therefore, we will adopt the model and expand it with specific Tyrolean parameters. We want to make asylum seekers more accountable. That is what the population expects. To ensure that asylum seekers learn the language, engage with the culture, the values of the country, take on community work, Matul plans an asylum code. Vorarlberg serves as a model for this. The Tyrolean governor plans this. He's announced a thing called a Tiroler Tageszeitung on Saturday. A similar initiative in neighbouring Vorarlberg serves as a model. There is criticism from, for example, the FPO leader Markus Avertske, who saw this as a last attempt to rally the last bourgeois elements. But the plan so that asylum seekers learn the language and so there is some sort of demand for integration. The FPO state party chairman Avertske doesn't like this. He says value courses and the asylum code alone will not help. Immediate zero immigration from Arab and other predominantly Islamist influenced countries is the order of the day. And he criticized the code as difficult to administer, likely legally challenging to sanction. In the light of Mattel's repeated rejection of cooperation at the federal level, Tyrol's leading Freedom Party member also attacked Mattel head-on. Politicians like him are the downfall of the bourgeois camp. And his plan is, Mattel's plan is inspired by similar initiatives elsewhere, is presented as a necessary step to address the backlog of asylum seekers in Austria. He highlights the need for asylum seekers to contribute to the labour market, suggesting there's a social expectation to give something back. However, the proposal has certainly faced criticism, particularly from people like Markus Avertske, who argues that the cultural assimilation programs and the codes alone are insufficient and instead he calls for a halt to immigration altogether from predominantly Islamist countries. He also questions the practicality and the legality of enforcing the asylum code, implying that it might be challenging to administer and to sanction legally. The political context of this is significant. Mattel's position against a coalition with the FPÖ, both at the state and the federal levels, underscores a political divide within Austrian politics. Avertske's criticism suggests a broader ideological conflict within the country's political landscape, particularly concerning immigration and integration policies. I'm sure this will make the the people in Reform UK particularly exultant. But this discussion is going on. It's not exclusive to the UK. And the discussion illustrates this ongoing debate in Austria, in Hungary, in Italy, regarding the balance between cultural integration and immigration control. And it highlights the challenges of creating a cohesion and inclusive policies within an increasingly diverse society. But the key to integration is language. And as I've said many times, Israel set the benchmark with its rollout of Ivrit language learning centres. How you pay for them, that's a bigger question. My own proposal would be that asylum seekers, migrants, refugees pay for the language learning classes from their wage packets when they start earning, rather like students have a deduction from their wage packets for to pay off their student loan, and that the cost is spread in that way. But without proper language, new immigrants to a country struggle to integrate. We can make that easier. And it's not just about reaching out to enclosed community. It's about opening up those communities to the broader society and finding ways. So maybe even finding buddies within society who will specifically help individual refugees, a sort of buddy system to engage individuals, both the individuals who are coming in and the individuals who are already here, to forge links and maintain those links. A sort of a sort of patriotic duty, rather like being called up to jury service.